What's up everybody, this is Top Flight Performance and I'm here to show you how to do a full service on your side-by-side. This is a V-twin design just like the 1000 Can-Ams. So if you can see in there, you know, they look identical. It's different clutching and stuff like that that's on the Warrior. But what I use today is going to be the AMS oil. So 5W40 for the engine. This is going to be for the gearbox and rear transmission. This is going to be for the front transmission. I have an oil filter O-ring. I have a way to get the fluid from here into the machine. And first thing you're going to do, pick up the bed, okay? And then you're going to unlatch it. Boom. Do the same thing on both sides. When you unlatch it, then you're going to push up as far as you can on this bed. And I don't know how it is on the Can-Am Defenders or anything like that, but now you have access to a lot of the stuff up here. Okay, come under the side-by-side and you come directly under the axle and where the gearbox is. Basically, it's just one drain plug for both things, and it's going to be, what is a 17, so drain it. Once you break it loose, just go ahead and loosen it up and then let it drain out. Look at that, still brand new. This unit has only had 16 hours on it, but that gear oil looks brand new, right? But look at this. That is a substantial amount of metal, but that's what happens when you break in a unit. So always change your fluid as quick as you can. I would say 10-15 hours on a new unit just like this one, and then you will, from there on, I would do every 50-hour increments or 25-hour if you do heavy usage in water and mud. After all the fluid has drained and you have cleaned the plug, put it back in. Then you follow this down right here and you can see, let me zoom in here for you guys real quick. There is a black plug on top of the gearbox pretty much. Okay, so for this part, you will need the 75-140, you'll need about 1.5 to start to throw into the gearbox, okay? I'm gonna put in 1 and then measure, because the dipstick has a measuring part on it. See what I was talking about in the dipstick? There's a measurement part right there, if the camera would focus. And it's gonna be supposed to be right on those X's. Screw this all the way in, take it back out, check the measurement, and let's see where she's at. Well, after sticking the dipstick all the way in there and then sticking it back out, boom, look. You can see it is right under those X's, okay? So when you get to right there, to that top mark of the oil, that's it. You don't want to pass that mark, okay? And that's the operating range. So, now for the engine oil, there's a nut right here. It's a 19. Loosen her up. Okay, after you have successfully drained your engine oil and put the engine drain plug back in, you're going to come up to the top. And from the top, you will see on the right hand side of the engine these 3 bolts. Okay, for quick comparison, here's the old oil filter that was removed. You know, there's no markings, no anything, but basically it is the same as a Rotax you know, oil filter. And the part number is RBX339 is what's on here. But this oil O-ring that I had will fit right there. And the part number to that is right there, 199950. But you can find this readily available. So change your oil filter and then put 2.2 liters of, or I would put 2 quarts. Put 2 quarts in and then measure in your engine what's up, okay? So when you put the oil filter back in, make sure you clean in there as much as you can with the napkin or whatever you got, you know, microfiber. But then put in the new oil filter. Oops. After you change the oil, you want to cycle the engine for like a good 60 seconds, you know, let it warm up a slight bit and cycle around the engine oil. Be careful pulling out the dipstick. You want to take it out, wipe it, and then this is the second time of me taking out the dipstick. And it's very hard to pick up on the camera because I could barely see this in person. Yes, it's right at the midpoint on the dipstick. So I'm actually gonna leave it right there in the middle. That's perfect. So we are done back here in the back section of the side-by-side. Gearbox and differential, I mean, they're sensored together. That's done. So the engine is done with the oil filter. We're gonna drop down the bed and reconnect these hinge points for these lifts, and then put that back and lower it back down, and then move to the front differential. Now for the front differential, you're gonna need an 11. You come down here and there's a drain bolt. And actually this is a 12 now that I looked at it. And she broke loose. Whoop. Ooh, look at all that. You see all that metal flake in the front differential? It's because, you know, it's wearing in. And there comes the new fluid right after. So I don't know what that plug is on the top, I'm gonna be honest with you, because you don't feel it that high. I can tell you that for sure. So that top one is probably an inspection plug, but you fill it up until it pours out from that bottom plug, and then let's put back in that drain plug real quick. Now what I've gone ahead and done is put the adapter on the AMS oil bottle, and then you just put it in there and just pump away, and that's how it goes into the diff. If it'll pump, there it goes. One more pump, boom, it leaked out. Okay, and after you put in the drain plug and you've secured the bottom plug and everything's done, that is it. You've done a complete service of all the fluids on a Warrior 1000. And then just put the rest of the liquids that you didn't use away, and that's it. Just hit my head on the freaking door of the garage, and that shit hurt, man. God.